Hello and welcome back to the course of Basic Electrical Engineering. In this video lecture, I am going to start new unit, that is AC circuit. Electric energy which is used in home, office, factories is in the form of alternating current, AC current. In this unit, you will learn about AC fundamental. Let us understand what you are going to learn in the upcoming video lectures of AC circuit. Which are the topics that you are going to learn. So basically AC circuit is divided into the two parts, single phase AC circuit and three phase AC circuit. In single phase AC circuit, you are going to learn about the representation of sinusoidal waveform and certain definitions related to that, is a peak value, RMS value, then phasor representation of AC quantity, then generation of single phase voltage or power or EMF. Then you will also learn about the different power, that is real power, active power, apparent power and power factors. Then analysis of single phase AC circuit, the circuit which consists of resistor, only inductor and only capacitor, and combination of RLC, that is RL series circuit, RC series circuit, RL series circuit and RLC series circuit and parallel circuit. And you will also learn about the resonance, series resonance and parallel resonance. Then you will learn about the three-phase circuit, generation of three-phase circuit, how the voltage and current relation is derived in three-phase circuit and power measurement of three-phase circuit. So these are the different units, these are the different topics that you are going to learn in upcoming video lecture series of unit 2, that is AC circuit. Now let us see what I am going to discuss or what I am going to explain in this video lecture. So first thing I am going to discuss in this video lecture is difference between AC and DC. Then advantages of AC circuit over the DC circuit. Then how voltage is generated, EMF is generated, that is a generation of alternating EMF. And the last thing, deriving the equation of alternating EMF. So these are the different topics that I am going to discuss in this video lecture. So let us start with the difference between AC and DC. DC means what? Direct current. AC means what? Alternating current. So here you can see the two waveform, DC waveform and AC waveform. The waveforms are for voltage and current quantity. So DC voltage or DC current or AC voltage and AC current waveforms are this. Now what is the definition of DC voltage or current? So DC current is a current whose magnitude and direction does not change with time. It remains constant. So here you can see magnitude and direction is constant with respect to time. In the case of AC, the alternating current is a current, the magnitude and direction of which changes periodically or after certain time. So here you can see magnitude, not only magnitude is changing, but direction is also changing after certain interval of time. AC cycle consists of two half cycle, one positive cycle and other one is a negative cycle. Not only magnitude changes but direction also changes. So this is a basic difference between AC and DC. So now let us take the different example of AC waveform. These are the different example of AC waveform which are plotted, which are the graph of amplitude versus time. Sine wave, square wave, triangular wave and complex wave. These are the different shape AC quantity can take, but the most widely used shape is a sinusoidal waveform, that is a sine wave. So these are the different waveform that AC signal can take. Now moving towards the advantages of AC system. So which are the advantages of AC system over DC system? Let us understand one by one. So first advantage is step up and step down of AC voltage can be possible using devices known as the transformer. Is the value of AC voltage generated can be raised up to high value and can be lowered down using the devices known as the transformer. This is one of the advantage of AC system over the DC. Next one is a high voltage transmission is possible. You can see high voltage transmission is having advantages because when voltage is transmitted at high value, power losses are reduced. So as AC voltage can be raised up to high value using transformer, its high voltage transmission is possible and ultimately because of that losses can be minimized. The next thing is what? AC motor construction. There are two types of motor, AC motor and DC motor. The construction of AC motor is very simple. It consists of very less part as compared to the DC motor construction, and the construction is robust, long lasting and low maintenance. So these are the different advantages of AC motor over the DC motor, and AC motor is nothing but we can say it is a AC system. The next thing is we can easily obtain DC from the AC using devices known as the rectifier. So rectifier is a device, using that we can convert alternating current into the direct current, into the desired value of the direct current. So DC can be easily obtainable from the AC. And the final one is, it is possible to build up high voltage low cost generator in the case of AC system. So these are the different advantages of AC system over the DC system. Now moving towards the next thing, that is a generation of alternating EMF. So first, before we understand the basic setup of generation of alternating EMF, let us understand the principle behind EMF induction, and that is nothing but the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So what it tells, so to understand that, you can see this setup. There are two electromagnet, and you can see the field line which is flowing, magnetic field which is flowing from north pole to the south pole. Now one conductor is there. If this conductor is placed in the electric field, then flux linking with the coil changes of the conductor if conductor cuts the magnetic field or magnetic line of force. So according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, if conductor cuts the magnetic field or magnetic field cuts the conductor, then flux linking with the coil changes and EMF gets induced in the conductor or coil. This is nothing but the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, how EMF is induced. If the circuit is completed, then current will start to flow. So let us understand the basic setup for generation of alternating EMF. For that, two electromagnets you can see which produces the uniform magnetic field. N and S represent the poles of the electromagnet. In this magnetic field, one conductor is placed which is also known as a wire loop or coil or armature. For simplicity, here only one turn is taken of the conductor. You can see if this conductor is rotated in the magnetic field, then flux linking with the coil changes and EMF gets induced in the coil. But if the circuit is completed, then current will start to flow. So for that, both ends of the conductor are connected to end rings, copper rings, and these two rings rotate along with the conductors, and these two rings are not touching with each other. On these two slip rings, carbon brushes are mounted, and these are supported by frame. Carbon brushes are stationary, it is not rotating, and when load is connected between the carbon brushes, then current will start to flow. This entire setup is connected with shaft, and shaft is connected to the prime mover. So when shaft will start rotating, this armature will also start rotating, this conductor will also start rotating, and current will start to flow. Now current flowing will be alternating because of what? Because the current produced, EMF produced, will be also alternating, because EMF produced at any time depends on the position of the shaft. So when shaft will be rotating in between 0 to 180 degree, EMF will be in one particular direction. When shaft will be rotating in between 180 to 360 degree, EMF will be in other direction. So current will be also alternating, you can see here. So this is the basic setup behind generation of single phase alternating EMF. Now let us derive the equation of alternating EMF. So for that, you can see here two magnets are there which produces the magnetic line of force or magnetic field. Two axes are shown, x dash, y dash. Now suppose assume that a coil having n number of turns, coil having cross sectional area a meter square, is start to rotate with angular velocity omega, then flux gets changed and EMF gets induced in the coil. Now suppose if the coil coincides with the x-axis or it is along the x-axis, so you can see here it is perpendicular to the magnetic line of force or magnetic field. So maximum flux will be produced in this case, and maximum flux is represented by phi m, which is measured in terms of Weber. Now suppose coil is rotated by 90 degrees. So if it is along y dash, you can see then coil will be in parallel with the magnetic line of force, then less number of or zero line will be cut, so flux linking with the coil will be zero. Now if coil start to rotating and after time t, the coil has rotated at angle theta, where theta is equal to omega t. In this case, the flux component perpendicular to the plane of the coil is given by phi is equal to phi m cos omega t. So this is the equation of alternating flux. Phi is equal to phi m cos omega t, where omega t represent the angle and position of the coil. If we will put omega t is equal to 0, then we will be getting phi is equal to phi m. If we will put omega t is equal to 90, we will be getting phi is equal to 0. Now let us derive the equation of induced EMF. So according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, EMF induced is given by E is equal to minus n d phi by dt. Now putting the value of phi m cos omega t. So minus n d by dt in bracket phi m cos omega t. So differentiating this with respect to time, so we will be getting n phi m omega sin omega t, where n phi m omega is nothing but the maximum value of the induced EMF. So E is equal to Em sin omega t, which is the equation of alternating EMF, where Em is equal to n phi m omega. Now if we will put the different value of omega t in this equation, we will be getting the different value of induced EMF. If these induced EMFs are plotted with respect to time, then we will be having the shape of, we will be having a sinusoidal waveform shape. And here you can say Em is nothing but the maximum possible value. So between 0 to 180 degree, we will be having a positive EMF, and between 180 to 360 degree, we are having negative EMF. If we will put omega t is equal to 0, then E will be 0. If we will put omega t is equal to 90, then E will be Em. If we will put omega t is equal to 180 degree, then induced EMF is also 0. If we will put omega t is equal to 270 degree, we will be getting a negative maximum value, that is minus Em. If we put omega t is equal to 360 degree, again induced EMF is 0. So this is how alternating EMF is generated. So in this lecture, I have discussed difference between AC and DC, then which are the advantages of AC system over the DC system, then generation of alternating EMF, and derive the equation of alternating EMF. Hope you have enjoyed this video. See you soon in the next lecture of AC circuit. Thank you for watching.